The goal is trying to bring objective consciousness into the interplay of relating to another human, which is not always neat and easy. You can't put it in a box. Hello, hello. Welcome back to another episode of taking a look at universal symbolism, truths, imagery, psychological profiles, and the gemstones of the zodiac degrees, the Sabian symbols. We are currently on Sagittarius 3, but we're also looking at Gemini because to look at the opposite sign gives us a fuller picture of the sign that we're on. Today we're going to begin with Gemini 3. I thank you so much for being here, and without further ado, here we go. The symbols for Gemini 3. The charming court life at the garden of the Tuileries in Paris. An invisible man wandering in the night. A dense thicket of brambles surrounding a magic castle. A visionary lies in a dark room as she waits for signs and messages. In spring, old people sitting along garden paths enjoying the flowers. The stone is orthoclase, and the spelling will be in the description. It heightens self-esteem. It helps those who are grieving. It enhances intuition. It helps you recognize your life purpose. It promotes optimism and good fortune. It speaks to all the chakras. It helps with PTSD and mastering your fear. It is protection for your aura. It gives personal empowerment, aids in transition. It encourages you to enjoy life, helping you overcome pessimism. It also enhances the healing of tissues and organs. In my mind, we're in the deep end. Sagittarius wants to see what is going on, and they want to see it at the deepest level, deeper than Scorpio. And I just didn't even know that was possible. But delving into psychology, which is a lot of what Sagittarius is, and Gemini is an explorer, which is the degree we're on here. So, and it's communicating. So it's the deepest depths of communicating and seeing things at a psychological level. So we're trying to grasp, we're seeing all these things, and we're seeing the subconscious out in the open, and we want to try to understand it. In order to try to relate to what they're seeing, there can almost be a rigidness here. So there are the brambles and invisibility, like the invisible man wandering in the night. He's able to wander in the night unseen. So on the one hand, it is protection. Nobody can see him, so he can go about his business and do what he will and is not bothered. On the other hand, he can be so invisible all the time that he's completely cut off from people. There can be almost a fear of seeing what we're seeing, and so we hide it. Or we want to get to the deepest depths, so we disguise ourselves so that we can go in and do what we want to. We can go anywhere and not be impeded. It's polarities trying to pull itself together. A strong urge to roam and investigate, fearless boundlessness in searching. And we're trying to do it in a non-threatening way so that we can see what we want to see. We want to be the intrepid explorer, but also help people at the same time. Reach in and touch the deepest depths so we can assist people that otherwise might not let us. Deep connection in communicating while protecting ourselves, but others may also want to protect themselves. So it's kind of a hide and seek, kind of a chess game, and we're getting to that when we get to Sag. There's a strong emphasis on both of these degrees. I haven't gotten to Sagittarius yet, but of the word tiles, like tiles on a board, like a chess board. The Tuileries is a beautiful garden, the epitome of a formal French garden. Some of the key words here are gardens, rigid crystallization, rigid formality barriers. And the barriers can be in the form of rigid formality. Let's take a look at Sagittarius so we can pull this together. 3 Sagittarius, the symbols. No one is sure if the journey has ended. 2 men playing chess. Clouds overhead seen in a reflecting pool. A blue beetle appears as a sign to a man. Falling asleep for a moment. A man sees how to win a chess game. The stone is Verdite, and the spelling will be in the description. It gives past, present, and future knowledge. It is wonderful for past life work, for channeling psychic information. It is wonderful for seeing the truth in the present, for channeling ancient knowledge. It can increase individual power without the harsh characteristic of wanting to overwhelm. It boosts strength, reliability, and honesty. It speaks to the solar plexus, the heart, the sacral, and root chakras. It encourages the advancement of the heart's desire with vitality and zest for life. And it can stimulate the kundalini. So we have 2 men playing chess. They're on a board of tiles. And the tiles tie back to Gemini 3. This is one of those degrees where I see the benefit so very clearly of taking a look at the opposite one to get a clearer picture of Gemini 3. Because they're both talking about tiles, they're both talking about the interplay of communicating, and I think this is going on at 2 levels. So on one level it is man communicating with man. The subconscious realm of relating to another person and seen on a chess game, seen on a chess board. How one move can affect the whole game. How chess can teach you to pay attention, to not get carried away with sidelines, to see several moves down the road. On the other hand, it is a chess game between the ego and the subconscious, trying to get to higher consciousness. It's a very complex degree, I would say. It can be confusing because you're not sure, am I playing a game of chess? Is my opponent trying to actually stab me in the back or, take my king? There's a lot going on. It is life imitating a game. It's game imitating life. It's looking for signs. We're still trying to decode messages. We're wanting to explore the interrelating that happens when we communicate with other people in conflict. This is a game of conflict. Trying to go beyond boundaries. We don't want to stay in the box. We don't want to stay in the tiles. To constantly be exploring and to constantly be understanding what's the deeper meaning, what's the deeper meaning. So a very complicated degree, playing chess with a silent partner, which is ourselves. Awareness and understanding of exactly what is there in communication between people and between the ego and the subconscious. That's what's going on here. Deep stuff, very deep. A backstory is a sleepwalker, and to see that's a visual to get a handle on the ego and the subconscious, is that in order to get to higher consciousness, you almost have to embrace sleepwalking. If you only look at what's rational, you're missing the bigger picture. So we want to see the bigger picture here. We want to see it in the reflecting pool, and by doing that, the shadows are going to be taller. We're going to see deep into the water. We're going to see reflections moving around, and it's going to be a little disconcerting for people who don't like that. They just want to know that the ground is solid and just, get on with their day or be done with the day. That's not really possible here. There's no neat endings here. It's pulling two polarities together, but there's no closure. Being an intrepid explorer means, the journey is never over. This person has a genius for connecting everything, taking all the various pieces and parts, seeing life from a hawk's perspective, a predator, and on a chess game board where you can see all the moves and you can see them all the way down. Clouds overhead means that the sun is not shining on this, which allows shadows and reflections to be seen. So this is not a degree where a rational mind is going to feel very comfortable. Can be somewhat confusing. So reflections, tiles, strategist, facing each other head on. This is conflict and combat at a mental level, a consigliere who can see many moves down the road. So this is somebody trying to possibly put things in a neat little box that really cannot be put in a box. To do so can be to gloss over things that are scary, and also somebody who is a strategist at the deepest level, who loves the game of strategy in life and, in a board game, but in life. So that's what I have for you today. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'd love to hear any comments that you have about the symbols. If you've had any dreams about these, if you have any questions, give me a like if you're enjoying this, subscribe for more, and take care till next time.